So now if we get to the bottom here, we might want to add something like so instead of having a link to the top, we could just set a button, which this is going to be easier. We could do, I say that, but we'll see what happens. So let's use state, and we're going to do click to top, set click to top, and we're going to have false. And let's just add at the bottom of our content container, we'll add a button that just says to top for now. It won't stay like that forever, but we should then see, where's our, oh, it's right there. Add it to end of our section container. Oh, this is just the table of contents. So we'll need to then go, so not putting our state in here. So this is just for the table of contents. This is fine how it is. So let's get rid of useState. We don't need that in there. If we go to our page, which we'll go to blog slug. So we won't have this on every page, but we should have it on our blog page. So we are querying something here. I don't need that or this. Okay, we can leave some of these in here, but since we're querying stuff here, we can't use client at this level. So what we'll do instead is at the end of our blog here, we're going to add a button to top just so we can get it on the front end real quick. So there's our button, but we're going to need to create a new component for this. So we're going to go to our components folder, add a new directory, and we'll call this ToTopButton. Then we're going to add a new TypeScript file, and we'll call this ToTopButton JSX. We're going to use client, and we're going to export a function that we'll call ToTopButton, return the button that we're talking about. And then we're going to, in here, use state to top, and we'll initialize that as false. And so then we'll have a const where we'll do our click handler here, which will not have an E. It'll just open straight up into a function, which we will then do document window scroll to, not document, window scroll to 0, 0. So then we can do on click handler, and hopefully this just works. So let's refresh just in case, bam. And then I should be able to do scroll behavior still, so options. So let's do this differently, top, not to top, 0, and then behavior smooth. So now we scroll down, scrolls us back up to the top, nice and smooth. So it's not helpful that it's always down there at the bottom. So we'll want it to fade in and be kind of absolute. So let's go up to here in our ToTopButton and do new style sheet, do CSS index.module, and honestly this actually needs to be renamed to index. Let's set our classes, class name, sorry, classes.ToTop, and we're gonna import classes from index. Perfect. So to top, and then we can set our position to be absolute. So let's do bottom 20, and then let's do left 20 just so we can see it show up. There's our ToTopButton. That's not what I expected it to do. So we always want it to be there in that bottom corner. So it's essentially pinned there. So maybe it needs to be sticky instead. Yep, there we go. So now it's pinned in the bottom. I have the static route icon that's there, but I can see the ToTopButton. So just to get it out of that way, let's set it to like left of 40 should be enough. Let's do 60. And really, this can stay in the sidebar section here because that will never get below. This will always stay higher. This will never overlap. So I kind of like that. So we'll do ToTop, and then this will scroll us down. We can click ToTop. But we don't always want this to be here. We'll get there in a second. But first, let's go to our material icons. And let's get an up. What should our up arrow be? Keyboard arrow up. I like that one. Upgrade. Straight height moving. I did like keyboard arrow drop up. I like this one. So we'll go with this. We'll just copy the SVG and change this to be that SVG. And set the fill to be current color. All right, so it's there in current color, but that current color right now is in black. So I don't like that. And then we probably want to do a border. All right, so a couple things here. So first, let's set our color to be our variable dark primary. And then let's do a border, which will be, yep, that looks good. And then include, do I have BG pill? Let's see. So first we're going to need to do at use CSS. This should be variables as perfect. Okay. So now let's do padding of 1 rem. Whoops. Oh, that's too much. 0.5 maybe? Cool. And then of course I don't want it to be offset like that. I just don't like that the static route thing is there. So then we can do and hover and have it be background color, dark primary, and then color can be variable light primary. And then we can do transition all. Do the same thing up here. So now looks great. Don't really want, I like the flat look, so we're cool with that. Perfect. So now we don't want it to show up right away. So we'll probably want it to show up right when our table of contents is out of view, or really once our nav is out of view, which we understand is about 100 pixels. So let's set that the opacity shows up when it gets below a certain height. All right, so here we go. So we're going to do a couple things here where we don't really want this to be visible yet. And I don't really even need state here because it's being handled in that click. So perfect. So let's get rid of use state for now. Nope, I need use state still. All right, so we're just going to use it for something else. So let's get our use state block back in. We're going to set it to be visible. And we'll set it to be initially visible. And then we're going to add a new const where we're going to handle visibility. I don't like all of that. And then set this to be an arrow function. Then from there, we'll do const scrolled equals document element scroll top. Then if scrolled, this is going to be pixels, so we're going to do greater than, we'll just say 100 pixels, and we'll see what happens at different screen sizes. Set visible to true, else set visible to false. Great, so now we can go to our whole button itself, and then I think I'm going to see on scroll, we can do handle visibility change and see what happens. So refresh, that should go away. It does not. All right, so the problem though is that I need to have a class to tell it what to do. So if we do this, and then do, let's say, visible, classes dot visible, if not classes dot hidden. So then we can do visible, display. Let's just do onset. But really, let's actually, what is the other one? Not display, but I know what this is. Visibility. Let's do hidden. Wait, no. Visible. And then hidden. We can do visibility. Hidden. So I'm probably going to change this, but now we can refresh. Our arrow should disappear, and it is not visible until I scroll down a little bit. It's still not visible. Okay. All right. So I think the problem is that I'm setting this different. All right. So this needs to be set at the window. So let's do another useEffect, and we're going to do that. Import useEffect. And then we're going to set, not resize, but scroll. So instead of doing on scroll on the element, which is not changing in depth since it's pinned, we need to set the window to be visible, which there it is. All right, and so the reason I want to change this is because I want to be able to have it fade in. Also, 100 is way too fast. So let's do 200, and that should be perfect. And then, so for visible, we'll set opacity to 1. And we'll set opacity to 0 for hidden. And then for both, we'll set a transition opacity, and we'll set it to do ease in and out. Perfect. So now, nice fade in, nice fade out. Scroll up to the top, good to go. Scroll there, up to the top. And so, at hidden as well, we want to make sure that it's not selectable, so we're going to do our pointer events to be none. So while it's, and hover. And then I think I need to set the cursor to be not pointer, but there we go. Okay, let me come down, and now I can use my regular pointer. Great. So again, don't really want it there, but the static route thing is killing me. So let's put it back into the corner, just like we wanted it to be. And now it looks great. Perfect. Love it. Can click up, can go down, and then back up.